Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So today it's a beer from Wincle Beer Company. There we go, there's the beer. Took about 3 seconds after I did it to show up. So it says here, Burkes Special Exceptional Bitter. A deeply satisfying chestnut coloured English special bitter. Distinctive in character with a full malty and fruity taste. 5.5% ABV. Hops are Bramling, Cross, Challenger, EKJ and Target. Malt is Dark Crystal, Chocolate and Marisotta. Character fact, Sir Philip's Bull Mastiff loved going for walks up to the Hanging Stone. Wincle Beer Company Limited, Tolls Farm Barn, Danebridge, Wincle, Cheshire. Wincle Beer Company. So I have no idea when or who got me this or where I bought it from, if I did buy it. Can't say I've been to Cheshire. I can't remember where I got it, and if I did buy it, I can't remember where I bought it from. It's a mystery. Can't always remember where you buy your beers, can you? And if someone's gifted and where I got it from. But no one lives in Cheshire or comes from that area. So, here's what it is. So, here we go. Friday night is upon us. It's been a long, really long, cold week. I felt negativity this week, and I think it's just because of the cold weather. So, good time for the beer to clear. Not sure if it's bottle conditioned. Does it say? That doesn't say it's bottle conditioned. So, So, yeah, exceptional bitter. Yeah, okay. Smells bob on. Yeah, it smells great. I don't know what's up with the. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it's too cold. Begs that question, doesn't it? Yeah. Tasting like a decent best bitter. I don't need to. You don't need to. I don't need to paint it any differently than what it is. No idea what's going off with the colour and the haziness. I would have presumed it being a best bitter. And I've literally just got it off the shelf, so I've not really shook it about or anything. I don't know. It smells good and tastes good. It smells like what I'd expect. The only thing it doesn't look what you'd expect, but oh, yeah, like I say, it's been a long week, and sometimes I have to review myself in a week, and I've let annoyances get to me this week, and I've rattled, and instead of just thinking, whatever the situation is, you'll get yours at some stage. I've rattled, and I'm not happy with myself for that. I'm better off just ignoring everything that happens around me. I can't change anything, and I think next week I'll take some music to work with me, or a book even, audio book. And, you know, try not to let my mind get wound up with things that literally I have no control over. The only thing I can control is what I do, my work. And I mean, today was a struggle at work, gotta be honest. It was a tough, cold day. It's not easy when you get to work and it's freezing and your choices at work are so limited. When the ground's frozen, it limits what you can do. You know, pruning is at this time of the year. Pruning is possibly the only decent job you can do. I've got some plans for next week to put into fruition, as it were. So we'll see how that goes. Yes. So the bitter itself, I don't know why it's like that. A hazy temperature, could it be? It's tasting bang on. It's not out of date by a long shot. So yeah, I've never had a beer from this brewery before, so I will tag them in, you know, just to let them know and see if they can understand. The temperature, the shed temperature is cold. So has the cold temperature played the beer up? Because, like I say, there's literally nothing wrong with the aroma, malty, chestnutty, everything that a bitter I would expect in a bitter. And where there is a clear element, it looks good. But this hazy here would not be. I would not think that's what they, as a brewery, would want to put out. Certainly not in a bottle. You know, modern traditional brewery. I'm going to pour the rest of it out in a minute. There's no wrong with the taste. Not sure what the crack is. Now, bear in mind, so I poured the rest in. It's a nice white head. Colours where you would, the ballpark for colour is there. It's just the haziness. It's unless it's meant to look like that. Me personally, I don't see it. Yeah. I mean, on the phone, if I look on the phone, it don't look great on the phone. Tastes okay though. So, yeah. It's difficult, and you know, I don't like to do breweries down, especially not, you know, first time drinking a beer from this brewery. I kind of, because it doesn't say bottle conditioned, that is a curious one for me. 5.5%, you know, the beer is. Yeah, a Wincle Beer Company. You know, I will tag them in, and so they can see the beer. I won't slag the beer off. You know, that's not what I do. Yeah. There may be a reason for it doing that, and it may clear. But yeah, don't know. Did I get a defunct bottle? A bit of air got into the bottle. A bit of sediment got into the bottle. Yet there's no sediment in the bottom of the bottle, so it's a mystery. Yeah, there's a song about that somewhere. It's a mystery. Not going down that road. It's Friday night, and yeah. So going back to what I was saying, tastes lovely. You know, I don't care what it looks like. Tastes bang on. Smells like I expect a bitter to smell. Tastes like a bitter to smell. To taste rather. But looks wise, yeah. Unless it's supposed to be hazy. If that's the intended look, then bang on. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a curious one for me. But yeah, my review of myself this week. Kind of disappointed in myself. I've come away from work tonight and I've been moaning. Rightfully moaning, because I've had issues where we've got a van at work and we use it to go between workplaces, to pick stuff up, to bring. I've not had the van this week. When I wanted the van, I couldn't use the van because supposedly there was nowhere to put the wood. The van didn't move one of the days I was there. And the person using the van didn't work. Stood still and didn't work for nearly 5 hours. You know, when you're if you're behind the desk, you can probably get away with shit like that. But when you're in a business when you're in a situation where what you do, you know, unless you're having a bad day, you know, these things happen. But stood around waiting somebody to do the work. When there's jobs you can do, there's always jobs. I mean, as a gardener, if I can't do the job I wanted to do because of the weather per se, there's always something else to do. Always. But in a lot of ways, I'm disappointed with myself because I've let it get to me. And instead of, you know, letting... it's not my job to care what other people do. It pisses me off nonetheless. It's that thing, isn't it? In every job we're in, you see somebody, you're working hard for your money. They're probably on more money than you, and they do fuck all for it. Pardon my French. And you're there and you think, I'm working in freezing cold temperatures, and you're doing nothing, sat in the warm, cup of coffee in hand, on the phone, and you know, and there's legitimate reasons for me to be venting about it. But then there's the other side that says, yeah, but whatever you say, it's not going to change anything. Yeah, because it's up to the people that are paid to do that, to open their blinkered eyes to notice this. And maybe, and this is something that I've learned over the years, maybe I just work too hard for my money and care too much about the job for my money. And I've had this in different jobs. In fact, I've had it in probably every job, where I work really hard. I see other people slacking, absolutely taking the mick. And then like yeah. I maybe should think to myself, although it's really hard, at this time of the year when it's freezing, it's really hard to stay warm if you're not working really hard in gardening, that is. And maybe I just need to look at, in some ways, another profession, but a slightly warmer profession, where it might be cold working, but you're not out in the cold elements, as it were. The brewery trade for me is that element, really, But I don't suppose many breweries would want me to be an employee of theirs, Might have upset a few over the years with beer reviews. It's interesting. So it's tasting very best bitterish, malty. I know it says chocolate, Marisotta, dark crystal, the malt. Lots of different hops. But I've never come across a best bitter that's not from a craft brewery that's looking like that. So, but it tastes good, it smells good. So, it's that sometimes as a beer reviewer, sometimes you'll review a beer, a gimmick beer, shall we say, and when they get it wrong, it's worth slating them because they've got it wrong. They make such a big fuss on social media and across, and then you come across a brewery that I don't really know anything about, possibly a smallish brewery, and I pour a beer and it's not as expected, i.e. it's hazy, quite really hazy. And when it's the style of beer does not say that it's going to be that. So, yeah, it's difficult. And, as much as you for a hobby, you review beers, I'm not an arsehole. I've never been an arsehole. Some people do these things and it destroys companies. It destroys businesses. I don't like that. I don't like somebody saying to me that you're a shit worker. And because I'm fucking not. We all have a bad day. But there you go. So, on smell-wise, it just smells like a normal best bitter would. Taste-wise, again, it's got that maltiness and I won't say there's a slight nuttiness there, but it tastes like a best bitter. However, the looks, a bit disconcerting on the looks. Whether it's supposed to be like that, that's another thing. So I'm going to score it as if it's meant to be like that. And then I'll give you the score as if that's wrong. So for me, a good 4.2 out of 5 for a best bitter. Yeah. If it's not meant to be like that, I'd say about a 3.7. But it still tasted good. You can't fault the taste. And that's my review. A difficult beer review tonight. Got to be honest. In all ways. From me reviewing myself as well. Yeah. Cheers all.